Hey everybody, how's it going? Diecast and more here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Caterpillar 320FL in 1/50th scale, produced by Diecast Masters. But as you can see here, it has a little bit of a twist. We have the Engcon tilt rotator set installed on this model, and I know what a few of you are probably asking right now is, didn't we see that on a Cat M314 or 316 wheeled excavator? And the answer to that is yes, you did. As a lot of you know, I am not a fan at all of wheeled excavators, and that was probably one of the worst excavators that the Engcon could have ever possibly been attached to. So I had to get that fixed. So as you can see here, we now have it mounted on the 320F, which is much more appropriate for this nice of an attachment. It was not working on the other model. It wouldn't hold a pose with it. It wouldn't do anything with it. So I decided to take a little bit of a leap of faith and make the swap. So I'm really not going to go too terribly in depth on the model itself. More or less just some of the things that I've done to this model specifically. On the back of the boom here, and you're gonna have to excuse me, I don't have my fancy dancy poker at the moment, but on the back of the boom right here and over on this side right here, I installed hard lines that go all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to pick it up and show you here in a minute. They go all the way down to the bottom, and they run all the way up to the end of the boom, where they have a rubber line that goes from the boom to the stick, and whenever it reaches the stick, it has a hard line going all the way down almost to the bucket linkage area to where it would hook up to the hydraulics for the Engcon. So basically what I used for the material to make the hard lines, I believe it's an 18 gauge wire that I used, basically a brass wire. As a lot of you already know, brass is very malleable. You can move it around very easily. It doesn't have too many problems going to whatever shape you want it to go to, so that really assists. And I didn't really say this also, but this is my first time doing any kind of hard lines like this, so everything is by no means perfect. I mean, like this right here, where I did that hard line, I mean, those came out pretty good in my opinion. I am pretty happy with this little bend that I was able to put in it right here. I think that came out looking pretty good on both sides. And my goal was, whenever you look at the model like this, you know, that everything is for the most part symmetrical. I didn't want, you know, one thing sticking out way over here and the other being real tight. I wanted it all to be, you know, somewhat symmetrical there. So I think I somewhat was able to accomplish that. And really, like I said before, the other Cat wheeled excavator, it couldn't hold any pose. I mean, any. Now that I have this, it will hold any pose that I wanted to for the most part. I mean, it's just a night and day difference. I can't even really explain it. I can hold the boom straight up. It doesn't stay there for long, but once it gets, it will find a happy place at some point. It's not 100% perfect, but I gotta say, compared to the model that it came on, huge improvement. Huge improvement. I know if you follow me on Instagram, at least, there was quite a few people. I made a little poll there, and I was asking if if anybody wanted me to add a little beacon on the cab. I've kind of been toying with the idea back and forth. I've got one or two, maybe three little things I can use for a beacon. I like that one there the most. I don't know where the other one is currently, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of beacons on excavators. I have, a couple of models that have it on there, obviously, but I don't know. We'll see. If you wanna give me your input on that in the comment section below, it'd be greatly appreciated. But besides that, guys, really the only, I guess what I'll do is I'll start from the back and work my way up towards the front. What I do with most of these new Diecast Masters excavators, right here on the black, usually between the cab and this black part right here, it's going to be yellow on the inside, and that has always kind of bothered me a little bit. So what I do while I'm taking Bob out, I'll have my little black paint pen and I'll just paint pen that up, so it makes the lines of the machine a lot cleaner. You don't see that little cat yellow line on the inside of there any longer, which always bugs the crap out of me. Another thing I did here on the top of the boom, I don't know if you can see it that well, I added some little, I can't remember the name of them now right off the top of my head, I believe they're called crimps. Just did that with some rubber wire and put those on there. The way that the stock lines looked was okay, I guess, but I wasn't really digging it. So, and then it's not the most accurate representation, I know. It's I just wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. But here on the, if we can get it there on the stick, or excuse me, on the bucket cylinder, I did something a little interesting. I used what I think it's a number 4 crimp and then a number 2 crimp. The number 2 slides inside of the number 4. I just basically put the number 4s on the outside after I painted them black, and then that allowed the number 2 crimp with the rubber hose there to just slide right in, and I don't know. It looks a lot better than stock in my opinion. The stock lines were shooting way out and it didn't look too pretty. But I think, this couple of little things I've done here really helped clean it up. The only other real thing I've done is I did the little modification that will allow you to curl the stick in. I didn't go too far, but I did it to where it will curl at least in for a respectable load. The only other thing I really had to do, I had to replace the stick cylinder whenever I did that, because on the stock 320, it's I'll just have to show you here. That's the modified 320, and that is stock. So it probably make it a little bit better. I mean, you can see that is a huge difference. I mean, that's a huge difference. The bucket on the other model has no chance of ever touching the tracks. And I know with the Engcon on this model it's cheating a little bit, but anyways, it makes a world of difference for transportation, for posing the model, for anything. So it's one of those things that not everybody feels 100% confident in doing and 100% confident in it. But I've been doing this stuff for a little while now, so it doesn't really bother me too terribly much. But alright guys, that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, please like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you all in the next video.